Search me, O Lord, and try me. Test my soul and my heart. Today's saint, Junipero Serra, certainly heard, prayed, and lived out this prayer. For he began his professional life as a Spanish university professor teaching philosophy, and after ordination to the priesthood included theology. But despite his academic giftedness and successes, deep down he felt a call to become a missionary. And this led to him being sent to the Apostolic College of San Fernando in Mexico City in 1749. And beginning the next year, and for the following 6 years, Father Junipero would oversee 5 missions to the Pame Indians in the Sierra Gorda Mountains. It was in this time that the priest-scholar learned a new set of skills, those of a missionary. They included immersing himself in learning the native language, working side by side with the local people in the fields. For those of us in the United States, his movement in 1758 would affect many of our fellow countrymen and women of the West, as he served in Mexico and the lower portion of California for the next 11 years. Father Junipero would go on to found missions in places that we know, like San Diego and San Francisco, in Monterey and Carmel. And at the California missions, incredibly, Father Junipero baptized 6,000 people. He confirmed another 5,000 people. In addition, he introduced agricultural methods and tools that resulted in a better quality of life. And he also defended his flock against military violence and oppression through interceding on their behalf through meeting with military and government officials. My brothers and sisters, as we reflect on St. Junipero Serra's life and our own, we can add it to today's reading from Genesis that Kevin proclaimed, a reading that includes the very human response to hesitate to God's call to us. In this reading, we hear how God is calling Lot, his wife, and their daughters to run to safety. God is very direct, saying, flee for your life. Don't look back, or don't stop anywhere on the plain. And yet, Lot hesitated. Perhaps, as we do at times, looking for a way that suits us. Maybe like Lot, who doubts that God's plan will work, or even that we're worthy of it. My brothers and sisters, God certainly speaks to us in varied ways, and many times, as we know, when we would least expect it. And he even is merciful enough to allow us the time to process what he is telling us, as he did with Lot, so that we can move forward in doing God's will, God's plan for our lives. You know, the part of the reading that really struck me was God's command, don't look back. It reminded me of 2 things. And the first was the verse from the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus said, no one who sets his hand to the plow and looks to what was left behind is fit for the kingdom. If you're like me, at first it's hard to reconcile this with the importance of remembering the good that God has done for us and the people we love. But God's direction to not look back in the case of Lot and his family was so that they could look forward to what he had in store for them. Anyone who's ever tended a plow or even mowed a lawn knows that if you want to go in a straight line, you have to look straight ahead at a landmark. St. Junipero in today's reading reminds us of being willing to trust God enough to focus on where he is leading us. And if it all, at times, seems like too much, when our lives are like turbulent waters, we can always be like the disciples in today's gospel and cry out, Lord, save us, trusting that not only he hears us, but he always will.